Have you ever wondered how you would go from this to this? If so, well, stick with me because we're going to jump into this together and I'm going to explain. Welcome to this episode of Shop Talk by DIY3DTech.com. This episode, I want to talk about this new shelving unit, which I created to house my Harbor Freight storage bins. So one of the things I've been doing as I've been building this new shop is I really want to get super organized. And one of the things I need to get organized is all my, especially smaller bolts and nuts and little grommets and things like that. So one of the things I've done is I've standardized all my cases on the Harbor Freight case. And with that, one of the big problems with the Harbor Freight cases is they all stack one on top of another, and it always turns out being the one you want is always on the bottom. So again, you've got to move 12 other cases to get to it. So what I decided to do is, unlike other DIY makers out there, I wanted to come up with a 3D printable design to create shelving for my Harbor Freight boxes. And this is basically it right here. So the idea behind this is actually to be able to join three different axes together, if you will, to create a brace. So I can have a horizontal, two horizontals, and a vertical brace to create a shelving unit. So now what you simply do is you take a bunch of these, put them together with a support like this, and boom, Bob's your uncle. You have shelving like you've seen at the onset. Now we're going to jump to the shelving in just a minute, but I want to talk a little bit more about this design. So this is really kind of unique in a way because you can make just about anything out of it. Now also, as you can see here, and I'll talk a little bit more about it when we go over to the shelves over there. However, I decided to use half-inch metal conduit or galvanized conduit. The reason I did that is I started out with PVC and just 3/4 inch PVC pipe, but it flexed to too much to handle all the different cases that I was putting on it. So I switched to this half-inch. Now this is also pretty cheap. This is for a 5-foot section. Was under $3 per pipe, and I don't know, it took me probably 16 pipes to build this whole thing. So not too bad price-wise, probably equivalent if you went and bought plywood and decided to do the same out of it. Now, this piece here has, again, holes put in at strategic spots. So one of the things I decided that I would do is use number 8 self-tapping metal screws to act as a support for this, so it'd be very easy to just use an impact. Now I did pilot them on the metal for the PVC. You can just go right in with an impact driver. So enough ado here. Let's jump over to the actual shelving unit and take a better look at things. So here we are at the shelving unit. One of the things up front, I left space up here to add extra racks. So I've designed this or built this out to handle 12 different boxes, which is how many boxes I have now. And in the future, if I want, all I have to do is print more of these and cut more tubing, and I can go up even further. So again, to form a shelf which handles 2 boxes, there are actually 6 brackets as I showed on the inset. Now I also came up with these cool compression caps that go on the end here, as well as these tapered caps to finish off the ends, which I've left proud of the vertical stanchions. So I've got videos on each one of these out on the OpenSCAD site because these were designed in OpenSCAD, and the tri-mount was actually designed in Fusion 360. So I'll have links to all these out on Thingiverse if you're interested in building your own. Also, the feet down here are just some simple tapered feet I whipped up in OpenSCAD 2 to support the unit. So again, as it sits here, I can handle 12 different boxes. Now also I spaced the bars, the horizontal bars here to match the bottoms of the cases. So the cases actually lock into sort of these poles here, these horizontal stanchions. Now what would I change about this? I printed these brackets in PLA, again because it's in my shop, it's climate controlled, so heat's not a problem. But these are very brittle and there is a lot of torque on these vertical stanchions, well, actually all the stanchions for that matter. And I have had a problem with some of them cracking, which took me a while to deal with. I eventually had to oversize the holes a bit to handle that, torquing, if you will, for just temperature change and stress of adding these boxes onto this. Now that has worked out for me, but if I were to do it again, which I probably will, I would do these out of something like PETG or, heavens forbid, ABS. But anyways, outside of that, it's really worked great. I used my Evo metal saw to cut all the tubing, so that was super easy to do. Quick afternoon project to help organize the shop. So again, I'll have all this stuff, links to all this stuff. Some of it will be on Thingiverse, some of it on OpenSCAD. So if you're interested in building something like this, it'll all be there for you. Don't forget, Swag Shop's up there. Hit the subscribe button over there. And tell me in the comments below, what do you think of this? Are there modifications I missed that I should have made? Love to hear from you guys. Cheers.
Please click like below and subscribe to the channel.